All right, welcome to your class. Today we're going to be focusing on a little bit more of a restorative practice. So it won't be as long as our normal practices, but we're going to be doing just long holds and stretches. We're going to do some mindful breathing, just some stuff to bring our energy back down into the body. Sometimes our energy is all out in the world and it can be a little bit hard to handle sometimes, and doing these stretches and finding this restorative breathing and this restorative practice can help us ground and help us reroot ourselves. So we're going to start today on the back body as usual. So I'm just beginning to place the feet down towards the end of the mat and find your way down into the back. And instead of a traditional Shavasana today, we're going to be bringing the feet right behind the sit bones and just heel toeing them to the outer edges of the mat. Let's let the knees fall inward. All right, so we're going to start here by taking our right hand to place over the belly, left hand comes to place over top of the heart. And as you slowly make your way here, just start to read your body. Maybe you just finished a workout, maybe it's the start of your day or the end of your day. Maybe you're coming into this practice carrying a lot more weight than you think you are. Physical weight, emotional weight, spiritual weight. Begin to notice what's coming up for you here and what's being taken onto your mat this morning. Continue to breathe steadily. Notice the inhales and the exhales as it passes in and out of the nostrils. Notice how the breath softens the muscles of the face. You're in a sacred space here. It's just you, your breath, the thoughts. Begin to notice those thoughts. Maybe they're to-do lists, things you've forgotten. Maybe you've got something weighing on your mind. Wherever you are and whatever is coming up for you here, allow yourself to be as you are. Allow that luscious, rejuvenating, expansive breath to fill the body, creating space for new opportunities, for your better self. And exhaling out each and every thought, sensation, or tension that's not serving you. Whatever's not working, send it out with your exhales. Breathe in your opportunity with your inhales. Now we're coming into a pranayama exercise, so follow me with your breath. We're going to be moving slowly here. What we're going to start with is a slow inhale through the nose, and as you inhale, the belly starts to rise and expand. We're going to hold our breath at the top. Feel the space in the body. Slowly exhale. Into the belly, deep inhale. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale. Again, deep inhale. Feel the belly, lungs, and chest rise. Hold. Exhale. Two more. Deep inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last time, big breath in. Hold. And exhale. Begin to gently rock your head from side to side. And just start to rock the knees, windshield wiping from side to side. All right, now we're going to start to heel toe the feet back together. We're going to begin to open up the knees, draw the soles of the feet together, recline Supta Baddha Konasana, taking both hands to the low belly. If this is uncomfortable for the legs, you can put blankets or pillows or blocks below the outside of the knees. Breathe here. We're going to come into another pranayama breath exercise. Now this time, it's a restorative dragon's breath. Usually dragon's breath is very forceful. We're still going to force the air out this time, but because we're on our backs, we're just going to focus mostly on drawing the belly button towards the spine with the exhale. It's almost like we're bringing the belly button down to the ground. So with the hands on the low belly, deep inhale through the nose. And when you exhale, open the mouth, stick out the tongue, make a kind of sound. A few more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Really scrunching up the face. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. All right, we're sliding the hands to the outside of the legs. Gently bring the knees back together. All right, now we're gonna really plant through the feet here. What we're doing is we're rolling up and down the low back. So this is a bit of a funny movement to get into the groove for, but it's really beneficial for any low back pain. So to start out, the feet are hip width distance apart. So in line with your sit bones, toes facing directly ahead of you. What you're gonna do is you're gonna plant the hands down by your side. The feet are planted firmly on the ground. And then you're going to use the strength of your legs to just rock you up and down over the low back here. So try not to let the belly rise. Try not to let a space come between the low back and the mat. Try to keep everything grounded here. And just start to rock up and down on the low back. See how that feels. If you want to take the hands to the belly, you can. If you want to open them up wide, you can. See what feels good for you here. We're just going to be doing this for 20 more seconds. Really pull into the feet. Make that big motion. Beautiful. Slowly begin to relax. Bringing both knees in towards our heart center. Let's wrap the hands around the shins. Just moving from side to side over the low back. All right, right foot comes up towards the sky. We place the left foot down on the mat, taking the hands to lace behind the right thigh or behind the right calf, whatever's available to you. Start pointing and flexing through the toes. Maybe roll out the ankles if that feels good for you here. Sending the breath to the back of the leg. All right, bending through that right knee, bring both knees back into center. First option for our twist is to keep both knees together and slowly release towards the right. Or the other option is to take the right leg and cross it over top of the left and then begin to just release the legs over to the left for a deeper stretch. So whatever feels best for you here, we're going to extend that right arm by our side. If you want a deeper stretch, begin to look towards the right hand. The left hand can come towards the right thigh. Imagine wringing out the spine like a wet towel here. We're getting rid of all of the gunk that no longer serves us. Beautiful, coming back to center, unravel the legs, just rock from side to side. All right, right foot down, left foot rises. Find your grip behind that leg, avoiding the area of the knee, and then just starting to find some motion in the foot, point, flex, roll the ankle, see what serves you best here. You're in charge of yourself in this practice, so really just follow what feels best for your body. Honor and listen to what it's saying. All right, and when you're ready, starting to bend both knees in towards the chest. Now again, you can keep the knees stacked as you release them to the right, or if you want, for a deeper stretch, cross the left leg over the right and find your way into this restorative twist. Open the arms up wide, maybe looking over towards the right, towards the left. Right hand can come to the left leg if needed. All right, begin to bring knees back into center. Slowly rock yourself side to side to release. All right, let the feet come down. We're gonna move down onto the right side. So extend your right arm up and overhead. And then when you're ready, begin to slowly press yourself up into a comfortable sitting position. All right, so we're in our seated pose. Now what we're going to do here is we're just going to begin to extend the right fingertips down towards the side of our mat, tent them on the mat, and then begin to release the left ear towards the left shoulder. Feel that long stretch through the right side body. Feel that stretch through the right shoulder, the arm. Slowly begin to drop the chin towards the chest. Release the right hand, this time moving towards the right and releasing the left fingertips down on the ground. Release the left fingertips. Just do a couple slow half circles here. Releasing the back of the neck. All right, come back to center. We're going to place the feet down here ahead of us, and we're going to take our hands to our shins. What we're going to do is take an inhale to press the chest forwards, look up. As you exhale, find the resistance between the hands and shins, curl the back and draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale to come open. Press the chest forward, open the shoulders. Exhale to curl the spine, scoop the tailbone. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last time, inhale, open. Exhale, close. This time we're going to start to walk the feet in a little bit. We're going to take the temples to bring between the knees, and we're just going to hug the chin towards the chest and feel that stretch through the back body as you hug your way closer towards the thighs. Give yourself a nice big hug, a squeeze. Big inhale and exhale to release. Awesome. All right, making our way into a tabletop position. Let's plant the hands down on the ground. The knees come below the hips. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Final time, inhaling cow pose. Exhale, scoop the tailbone, curl the spine, cat pose. Neutral spine. All right, begin to step the feet back, plank pose, stacking shoulders over wrist. Feel the activation of the belly, feel the strength in your pose, plant into the feet, plant into the hands. Deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the knees nice and bent here. Stick the tailbone high towards the ceiling. Press the chest in towards the thighs. Begin to release one heel down and then the next, walking out your down dog. Let the ears fall between the arms. All right, we're going to plant into the left foot, lift the right foot high, open the knee, bend the knee, send the heel towards the sit bone. Let your gaze move underneath the right armpit. Open up here. Beautiful. Now straighten that leg. Begin to take yourself forwards. We're going to bring the right knee towards the right wrist. We're going to release here and come into a pigeon pose. Now, pigeon pose isn't available to everyone, so I'm going to show you the alternative in a moment. But if you're taking pigeon pose, begin to settle your way forwards. We want to try to bring this right foot forwards if we can. We want to square the hips to the front of the mat, release the back toes. Keep this right foot flexed. This helps us protect this knee so that we don't injure it. All right, so if you're in pigeon pose, square the hips, puff up through the chest, proud pigeon. Begin to lift the gaze here, tent the fingertips. And when you're ready, walk your way forward. So finding your deepest position in this pose, maybe you plant the hands, you might come down onto the forearms, you might surrender completely onto the front body. Whatever is available to you. If pigeon pose is not for you today, what we'll do is we'll come down onto the back body and we're going to come into a figure four by placing this left foot down on the ground, crossing the right foot over top of the left, keep the right toes flexed, lift the feet up off the mat, take your right hand between the legs and lace behind that left thigh or over the left shin. Just watching the knee, we don't want to grab a hold of the knee here. So find the position that suits you best, that you feel most comfortable in, and just embrace that. We're going to be here just for a couple of breaths. Notice what's coming up for you in the mind. If your mind begins to wander, gently drawing it back into your present moment, allowing yourself to feel that peace. Grant it to yourself. Give yourself the rest and the peace that you deserve, knowing that through every uncomfortable sensation, through each moment of tension in your practice, you're overcoming a hill and you're releasing it into your past. It no longer belongs to you. You no longer belong to it. Your challenges are not who you are. So allow yourself to let go and embrace what is meant to be here. Beautiful. All right, start to slowly make your way up. If you're in figure 4, find a tabletop position. If you're in pigeon, lean into this right hip, tuck your back toes, lift that back knee. We're all pressing into plank pose. Deep inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk out your feet. Feel the difference inside. See how that feels for you after breathing and releasing through one side. All right, gather your strength. Find your balance. We're going to begin to lift the left foot up and off the mat this time. Opening that knee, bringing the heel towards the sit bone. Start to shift the gaze underneath that left armpit. See how it feels to open through your hip. Press into that back foot. All right, now lengthen that back leg. When you're ready, if you're coming into pigeon, start to bring the left knee towards the left wrist. If you're coming into a figure 4, begin to slowly make your way down onto your back and find your figure 4 rendition on the other side. So this time you'll be crossing your left foot over top of your right knee. Sorry, right thigh. All right, so wherever you are, take your time to arrive. Keep the left toes flexed. Tent the fingertips and lift the gaze. Feel that stretch through the right quad. When you're ready, surrender into your pose to whatever degree you feel comfortable. One side might be totally different than the other, so just be patient with yourself. Accept where you are right now. You're exactly as you're meant to be. Find your breath. Find your space, your center here. Slowly begin to walk your way back up. If you're in figure 4, begin to unravel, moving into tabletop. If you're in pigeon, lean into that left hip, tuck the back toes. Slowly press your way into plank pose. We all meet in plank. Deep inhale here. Exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Allow the gaze to fall towards the shins. Maybe the heels are a little closer to the mat. Maybe they're not. That's okay. Just breathe into where you are here. Press into the fingertips, into the knuckles. Tilt the tailbone towards the ceiling. Press the chest into the thighs. All right, deep inhale to lift the heels, curl your way forwards, moving slowly and mindfully here. Beautiful. All right, now with your next exhale, lower down onto the belly, chaturanga. Once you've made it onto your belly, untuck the toes. We want to press into the tops of the feet to lift the kneecaps up off of the mat. So this is going to be our strongest pose of the day, and we're coming into a really strong back strengthening pose. So just find which rendition works for you, which variation you prefer. We're going to slowly build our way up to the pinnacle pose. So let's start to just press into the tops of the feet. Kneecaps are lifted up off the mat. So active back body here. We want to take our hands by our sides. And when you're ready, inhale, slowly rise, cobra pose. Now just coming up a bit. We don't want to press into the hands. We want to actually almost have it so that we can lift them up off the mat. And if you can, start to lift them off a couple inches. Feel the strength in the back, send the shoulders away from the ears, elbows to the back of the mat. Deep inhale. Exhale, release, bringing the right hand over top of the left, let the forehead come down onto the hands. Relax through your back body. Okay, we can come into the same variation, or you can follow me into the next variation. Press into the tops of your feet. Begin to send the hands back in space here. So hands will come down by our sides, forehead releases to the ground. As you inhale, rise up off the chest, lift the hands up off the mat, send the fingers to the back of the mat. If you can, lift the feet up off of the mat. We're in an airplane pose here, so point through the fingers, point through the toes, strong back. Deep inhale. Exhale to slowly release. Let the left hand come over top of the right this time. Release your forehead down. All right, begin to bend through the knees. You can take either variation that we just did, or you can find this final pose. This is our pinnacle pose. It's bow pose. So just being very careful with the knees here. We want to keep them in line with the hips if we can. Beginning to extend the hands back. Find your ankles here or the tops of your feet. Again, feel free to take both variations that we just took. As you inhale, press the feet away from the hands, lift up, bow pose. You'll feel a strong activation of the back body, a stretch in through the shoulders. Keep the gaze just ahead of the mat. Breathe. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the knees, release the hands down by your side. Let the forehead come down. Press your way through tabletop into a wide-legged child's pose. Extend the knees to either side of your mat and allow your body to come down. Release the forehead down onto the mat. Begin to press through the left hand, sliding the right arm beneath. Thread the needle. Let the gaze fall towards the right maybe. Towards the left. Switching sides. Maybe the gaze looks towards the right this time. and back into center. Begin to peel your way up slowly. We're going to begin to find our back body. Bring the feet towards the end of the mat, and then just walking your hands down the back of the legs, making our way onto the back. Just hug the knees in towards your heart center. All right, feet come down onto the mat, hip width distance apart, hands come down by the hips. Let's tuck our shoulders a little bit below the back. We want the knees to stay in line with the hips, so not falling outwards or falling inwards here. Instead, just keeping that same line. Moving through a few bridge poses, so plant into the hands, into the feet. Inhale, lift the hips high up off the mat. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. All right, bring the knees in towards the armpits. Arms come between the legs, looking either for the shins, the ankles, sides of the feet. Maybe if it's available, taking your peace fingers to the big toes. We'll play around here in happy baby. So just rocking side to side. You can extend one leg and the next, whatever feels best. Massage out the low back. Beautiful, and whenever you feel ready, we start to bring the feet down towards the mat, and we're going to find a final Shavasana. So extending the feet down towards the end of your mat, letting your hands open up by your sides, and slowly make your way into this final resting pose. See how your body feels after the stretches, the holds, and the movement that we found. Start to notice the thoughts that are rising up for you here. Shavasana is our final posture in the practice, and it's the most important posture of our practice. It's the posture that brings the most mindfulness, the most connection to our deeper self, and in turn our bodies. So allow your eyes to close, allow your tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. Create a small part between the teeth. Soften the jaw. Give yourself the permission to sink into surrender, into the greater things that are going to serve you here. Letting go of the to-do lists, of the things that are taking up our time and energy. Create space for yourself here. You're welcome to stay in this final Shavasana for as long as you would like to. I encourage you to stay here for a few more minutes and just embrace and enjoy this peace and quiet that you can give to yourself. Thank you for joining me in practice today. May you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste.